Everyone, I hope you're all safe and sound at home, virus free. Today's grammar lesson is about noun clauses. Open your books to 47 as I explained so you could follow. What's a clause? A clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb. We have two different types of clauses, the independent clause and the dependent clause. The independent clause contains a subject and a verb because it's a clause at the end of the day. Plus, it provides a complete idea. So when a person is talking to you in an independent clause, you would understand. For example, I went home. So you understand I went home. As for the dependent clause, it has a subject and a verb, but it does not provide a complete idea. So it has an incomplete idea and cannot stand alone. So you cannot say it on its own. It has to have something else with it. For example, so if I come and tell you, when I went home, you will tell me, what happened later on when you went home? So it cannot stand alone. It has the subject, it has the verb, but cannot stand alone because it doesn't have a complete idea. So this is the definition of dependent and independent clauses. Again, for nouns, what are nouns? Person, place, animal, or thing. But when we want to talk about nouns in sentences, nouns could be subjects or objects. If it's a subject, it comes before the verb. For example, Sarah went home. Sarah over here comes before went, so it is a subject. It's a noun again because it's a person and it's taking the place of a subject. While if it was an object, it would come after the verb. For example, he talked to Sarah. Sarah is a noun, Sarah is a person, and it comes after the verb talk. So it's taking the place of the object of this sentence. So far we haven't discussed noun clauses. We're still talking about nouns. What's a noun phrase? Okay, a noun phrase is a group of words that act as a subject or as an object. For example, the little boy went home. Okay, the little boy altogether is the noun phrase here and it's acting as the subject. While if you want to talk about noun phrases acting as an object, it's supposed to come after the verb. He talked to the little boy. Over here we've got the little boy after talked, so it's after the verb, and it's a noun phrase, so it's taking the place of an object. We come to noun clauses. Again, a clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. For example, what you said is important. Over here, my noun clause is what you said, a group of words acting as the subject. So thus we call it a noun clause acting as a subject. You is the subject over here in this clause and said is the verb. The whole noun clause is what you said, acting as the subject because my verb here is, and this noun clause comes before the verb, so it's the subject. If I want to talk about noun clauses acting as objects, I would go to, for example, I heard what you said. Over here, what you said is the noun clause acting as an object. Open your books to page 48 now to practice some exercises. Directions. Identify each underlined part of the sentence by writing noun phrase, or noun clause on the line. Write subject or object to identify the part of the sentence. Again, a noun would be one word, noun phrase is a group of words, and noun clause is a group of words having a subject and a verb. Subject comes before the verb, object after the verb. We're gonna do a couple of exercises together and then the rest are homework. I couldn't hear the little boy. This is the underlined phrase, the little boy. Over here it's not one word, it's several words. As a result, it's a phrase. It's not any phrase, it's a noun phrase. And it's coming after the verb here, so it's an object. Look at the second example, number 3. Sandy finished all her work. What's underlined? Sandy. Over here, Sandy is one word and Sandy is a person, so it's a noun, sorry. And this noun is acting in the position of a subject. Who finished all her work? Sandy. Thus, Sandy is the subject, is a noun acting as a subject. Look at the third example and the final one. I don't know what Maya wants. Over here, the underlined words are what Maya wants. We've got a subject, Maya, and wants. Okay? Since I've got a subject and a verb, so it's a clause. What kind of clause? A noun clause. They already told you that in the question, so don't jump all over the place a lot about it. So it's a noun clause, and where does it come, before or after the verb? Because my verb over here is know. This is the verb. So it's coming after the verb, what Maya wants. Thus, it's an object. This is for the first part of the grammar. The second part talks about noun clauses beginning with question words. What are question words? Who, what, where, when, why, how, whose, whom. Okay, all of these are question words, the WH question words. When you want to form a question, you put the verb to be before the subject. For example, where is she? My subject is she. The verb to be is before she. You put the helping verb as well before the subject. So where, when I use the word where, I'm asking about a place. Where will she go? My subject is she. I put the helping verb before she. Will comes before she, before the subject. Add do, does, did according to the tense. So if it's in the past, you add did. Where did she go? If you're asking about where did she go yesterday, you add did. If you're asking about now, if you're asking about noun, if it's a singular subject, you use does, about now, sorry, or the present, you use does if it's a singular subject and do if it's a plural. Now, when using a noun clause, beginning with the question words, yes. Example, how, what, where, whose, why. You put the verb to be after the subject. I don't know where she is. She is the subject, is the verb to be. It comes after the subject. Helping verb is also considered after the subject, which is the opposite of the question, of forming a question. They were all before the subject when you formed the questions. I don't know where she will go. She and will go. Again, will comes after she. You do not use do, does, or did when you are forming noun clauses. We're going to do an example, book page 49. Change each question to a noun clause to complete the sentences. How old are you? Where is, so let's look over here, it's better. How old are you is the question. This is given. So the first thing you do is you pinpoint the verb to be, which is are here, and you pinpoint the subject, which is you. What you do then when you're forming the noun clause, I don't know, you put the question word, how old. All you do is you flip them. You put the subject before the verb to be, or you put the verb to be after the subject. Okay, this is for book page 49. I did number 1. You have to do the rest as homework. And you go to book page 50. You have to make a question from the sentence. The words in parentheses should be the answer to the question you make. Use a question word, who, what, how, etc. Then change the question to a noun clause. Sam will finish at 8 o'clock. So they're asking about time. When I ask about time, I use what. When you're asking about a thing, you use what. So if I want to do my question, I will start with a question word, what. I will put this is time again. O'clock is time. What time? Remember we said that the helping verb in questions come before the subject. So my helping verb will come now, will, my subject after it, Sam, and finally finish. What time will Sam finish? Question mark. Now I want to change it into a noun clause. I don't know, again the question word, what time Sam will finish, helping verb, okay, comes after the subject Sam here. I hope you're okay with all of this. This is the grammar for this week. Your homework would be to do workbook pages 48, 49, 50, and 51. All the questions, usually you used to have 5 to 10. This time you have to do them all. For now, we're gonna go to writing, book page 34. Stop.